and welcome to another episode of the Super Cyclone Challenge. It's the last episode of Series 2, and hopefully we'll be able to go out with a bang. Well, it all depends on who we've got with us tonight. My name's Nathan Foy, and I'm joined by Strat. Good evening, Strat.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
We're doing great. How are you?
A bit giddy right now, for some reason.
You've been watching the Super Cyclone Challenge all through this series, I presume?
Yeah, for the most part. I just watched Abdullah's episode as it came out with you in a call with me.
And what are your thoughts on everyone's performances? Any ones that you remember?
I definitely remember Marcel's performance.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah, I did wonder whether you would say that. Anyone else?
Abdullah's, I just watched his.
Yeah.
I remember Hank's as well.
Now, do you do what some people do, and they go along with the questions and see how far you think you'd get based on everyone else's? Have you ever got as far as, say, Marcel and Isaac?
Not that far. I'm hoping I can change that, but you know, I gotta use the lifelines well.
That is part of it, isn't it? Indeed, Abdullah did waste one at one point. But obviously, if you don't know, you sometimes it depends how much of a risk taker you are. It can work either way. Well, I assume you're familiar with all of the rules. There's 6 phases. The first phase will have only 20 seconds on the clock to get through those first 4 questions to become a tropical storm, named Strat, I presume.
Yep.
And then the time limit goes up through each phase. After that, you start with 4 lifelines. You can ask a Force 13 team member the 50-50 flip the question, or the dreaded risk lifeline.
I'm not taking the risk. I'm not pulling a Marcel and losing and getting 0 miles an hour.
After you answer the 5th question correctly, you get the double dip granted to you as well if you don't use a lifeline in the first 5. Wonderful. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Alright, well, it looks like we're ready to go. You seem ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hopefully no technology fails tonight. And here we go with the first question. What was the strongest storm of the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season? Is it Ingrid, Sandy, Irma, or Patricia?
Irma, final answer.
Yep, it's definitely Irma. That's correct. Woo, fake applause.
I got one going.
One more to beat Marcel then.
Yep. As long as I get past him, I'm happy.
Which of these locations never receives tropical cyclones? Is it A, Manila, B, Miami, C, Honolulu, or D, Moscow?
Moscow, final answer.
Yep, that's pretty simple
I
indeed.
beat Marcel. This is a great achievement.
Hey.
There'll be somewhere around here that I can use.
You gotta hold on to it though. You gotta hold on to it. You can walk away now.
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Question 3. Which direction do storms spin in the northern hemisphere? Is it clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise and anti-clockwise, or stop the clockwise?
Anti-clockwise, final answer.
Final answer, it is correct. You are up to 35 miles per hour. Well done.
I don't know how they could do both unless they're crossing hemispheres constantly.
You bet. Let's not get into a technicality. There is one exception. And the final one to become a tropical storm, here it comes. Which of these 1980s storms was retired? Was it Arlene, Alan, Andrew, or Allison?
Alan, final answer.
Alan, you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's his final answer for tropical storm status. Of course it is. Alan was retired. Strat's a tropical storm. You were nervous.
Alright. Yeah, I was nervous. I'm giddy and nervous at the same time, what can I say?
Me too. Hope you do well, I mean. Okay then, well, we're into stage 2. Fantastic. Now we get 30 seconds to decide, well, for you to decide what the right answer is. A little bit more time to digest what the question actually is. They do come quick fire, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with question 5. This will get you to 50 miles per hour. Here it comes. What was the last hurricane of 2017? Was it Nate, Ophelia, Felipe, or Rena?
Ophelia, final answer.
You sure?
Yep.
Yep.
LMNOP.
No problems whatsoever. It is the correct answer. 50 miles per hour. Very good. Here's the next one. In 2017, the National Hurricane Center began to issue watches and warnings for what? Is it A, storm surge, B, tornadoes, C, major hurricane impacts, or D, flash flooding?
Storm surge, final answer.
Completely sure on that?
Yeah.
You remember it happening?
Yeah. I remember certain advisories that were covering during Hurricane Irma.
That's right, and they're still doing it now. It's the correct answer, 60 miles per hour for Strat. Well, much higher than Marcel could ever dream of. Don't blow it. Of course, you are guaranteed 40 miles an hour. The safe zone after every phase. 2 more to get to the end of phase 2 and hurricane status. The next one's for 70 miles per hour. Here it comes. Which of these Category 5 typhoon names has not been retired? Is it Meranti, Haima, Nok 10, or Megi?
I think I'll take a 50-50 lifeline.
Okay, the 50-50 is underway. The random computer that doesn't exist will now be reducing you to 2 answers. It is either Meranti or Megi. 22 seconds.
I think it's going to be Megi, final answer.
Megi, final answer. It is indeed Megi. Well done. You were worried about those West Pacific questions, weren't you?
Yeah, I was worried about them going into this.
Alright, well, hopefully we won't get many more. Yes, we will. 75 miles an hour on the table for the next correct answer. This would be for hurricane status. It's the one that a lot of people want to get to, of course, many of the people. In fact, I didn't ask you this question. What's your target?
I was hoping to at least get to hurricane status. I know I'm not as technical savvy as some of the other members on the team, but I was hoping I could at least get a little into it.
Alright, plenty of chance for that. Of course, you do have that 5th lifeline to double dip as well now, because you did answer those 5 questions. Here's question 8. What was the last storm to form in the 2014 Atlantic hurricane season? Is it Kate, Hannah, Melissa, or Nicole?
Hannah, final answer.
How did you know that?
I remember, what was it, like 2 days ago we were talking about like how inactive the storm was and our season was. I remember that was the last named storm of the season.
Hey, well, he's been reading up. It's the correct answer. We have Hurricane Strat.
Sign up relief.
Ding, ding,
That's
ding.
my goal.
It's been a breeze. Hasn't it?
Not in my mind. I guess on paper, maybe.
On paper. Well, we have 40 seconds for the next questions, so you can chill a little bit. Well, not too much. The questions, of course, are harder. And the next one is for 80 miles per hour. Here it is. Meteo France is responsible for tracking cyclones in which area? The Australian region, the South Pacific Ocean, the Southwest Indian Ocean, or the Caribbean Sea?
Southwest Indian Ocean, final answer.
Yeah, I didn't think that one would be too difficult. I'm surprised
No.
it's there. It's the correct answer. Yeah, we're looking at a trick question maybe there.
If I didn't get our MCM partners region right, I would be very upset with myself.
That is quite true. Yeah, you'd be groveling every day of the year to Mauritius.
Yeah, I'd get a lot of grief when this came public if I missed that.
Right, question 10 then will get you to 90 miles per hour, which is as strong as we think Chris was this year. Don't know about you. Here it comes.
What about that?
No, it was stronger than that in the end, wasn't it? Was it?
It was 100.
It was 90 miles an hour when we were live. That's how I got confused. Here we go. In 2014, Hurricane Genevieve passed through which boundary? Is it the Philippine Area of Responsibility, the Tropic of Capricorn, the International Dateline, or the Equator?
I'm gonna do a double dip lifeline here.
Alright, just to remind you of the question, the clock has stopped at 34 seconds. In 2014, Hurricane Genevieve passed through which boundary? What's your first answer?
What were the options again?
The Philippine Area of Responsibility, the Tropic of Capricorn, the International Dateline, or the Equator?
I'll say the Philippine boundary is the first one.
That is not the correct answer. 34 seconds start now.
International Dateline, final answer.
That is the correct answer. Well done.
I knew it was one or the other, so I just decided to go with the double dip to be safe.
Well, 10 down, 14 to go. 2 lifelines used, 3 to go. Well, near the halfway point, you're using them in about the same order as the questions. Okay, here's the next question, number 11, which would get you to 100 miles an hour. Given to remind myself of what value every question is, because it's been so long since we did this. Here it is. Hurricane Betsy in 1965 was the first storm to cause what amount of damage? $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, or $1 billion?
$1 billion, final answer.
$1 billion Betsy, that's the right answer. And now we're just one away from whatever the next status is, major hurricane status. 115 miles an hour at stake. How's it going over there?
Start like slightly accelerated heart rate, the usual stuff.
Don't die on me though.
I'll try not to. No promises though. I have to be alive for Holos Unleashed tonight though.
Yep, recorded this show on the 21st of July. It ain't going out for a little while yet. Here's question 12. Hickey was the first named storm to occur in which basin? Hickey, H-I-K-I. The Eastern Pacific, the Central Pacific, the Western Pacific, or the South Pacific?
I think I'm going to use Call a Friend on this one.
Oh my.
I have no idea.
He's not got a clue. Who would you like to call tonight?
I would prefer to call Hank Dulce.
I don't know if Hank's around. I'm trying to...
Oh no, he's offline. I'll call Marcel Holos instead for a surprise appearance.
Oh no, it's Marcel. Okay. Strat is playing the Super Cyclone Challenge. He's stuck on a question, Marcel. And he'd like to ask for your help.
Okay.
Strat doesn't have to do anything. I'll read out the question. Of course, you can converse with him in the 2 minutes time that you'll have to come up with an answer for him, Marcel. Okay, here is the question. Hickey, H-I-K-I, was the first named storm to occur in which basin? The Eastern Pacific, the Central Pacific, the Western Pacific, or the South Pacific?
I think the Central Pacific.
I'll let him do it. It's all his fault if he gets it wrong. Don't look at me.
So you're saying the Central Pacific, Marcel? Well, I think he is saying that, Strat.
I do too. I hope it's right.
Okay.
Tell him if it's wrong.
Alright, fine. We can do this. Okay, Strat's decided he wants to keep Marcel on the line. Marcel, don't know, calling out. Okay. Marcel has said... So, let's start the clock again. 36 seconds. What's your answer?
Marcel said Hickey in the Central Pacific. Is that what you think, Marcel?
Yes.
Alright, Central Pacific is our final answer.
25 seconds left on the clock. Central Pacific. Do you think you're right?
I don't know.
It's a big question for major hurricane status. Hickey formed in 1950 in the Central Pacific. It is a
Thank you, Marcel.
3.
Yes, Marcel, scream as loud as you want. Thank you very much, Marcel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, wonderful.
It's time for you to get the boot, though, Marcel.
Yeah, goodbye, Marcel. My. How about that? You pulled another one out of the bag.
I did. I got 2 lifelines left. I got further than I thought I would, so I'm pretty happy.
Yep, the 2 lifelines. Flip the question and the risk.
So I got 1 left.
Yeah. I wonder who we're going to risk with, if you were ever going to do that.
I could always risk Marcel again.
That would be very remarkable at the end of this series. Well, I can't tell you what to do as we go on to question number 13. This one is worth 125 miles an hour. 60 seconds on the clock. You're in the safe zone right now. 115 is guaranteed unless you take the risk. Here's the question. The island of Yap uses which term to define their most dangerous storms? Is it hurricane, typhoon, tropical cyclone, or deep depression?
I'm trying to think of my geography here. They're either in the South Pacific or the Western Pacific. So it's going to be typhoon or tropical cyclone. The regular cyclone isn't as strong as the typhoon, so I'm going to say typhoon final answer.
Interesting logic there. It's not the logic that I would have gone with, but it is the correct answer. It is typhoon, Yap, in Micronesia. It's mostly just north of the equator. Alright. Well, we're now up to question 14. This gets us to Category 4 status, if it's right.
Right.
How many Category 4 people have we had so far? I think we've had 4 in this series. I think it's 4. Well,
so if I can get there then.
Here it is then. Bill and which other Atlantic storm reached major hurricane status in 2009? Is it A. Claudette, B. Danny, C. Fred, or D. Ida?
I remember this was the year where I first really got into like cyclones in general. And if I'm not wrong, it should be Danny. And I'll say that as my final answer.
You going with Danny?
Yeah.
40 seconds remaining on the clock. Strat? Category 4 status at hand. I've not said it. I'm sorry. It's the wrong answer. It is
no.
Fred. Fred reached Category 3 status just after leaving the Cape Verde Islands at the time. Of course, Danny did it the next time the names were used in 2015.
Oh, no. This is a tragedy indeed.
Well, there we are, and you still go away with 115 miles per hour and complete pride of not taking the risk lifeline, but you did miss out on that flip question.
I did.
Well, not many people say that they'll use all their lifelines and actually stick to it. Well, I'm afraid this is another instance. But hey, that's a good way to end the series, I guess. Strat being the last major hurricane of our season. Series 2 ends with that. Thank you very much, Strat, for taking part, and in our next series, we're doing doubles. So if you and a friend would like to come on the show and play together to try and get to the top of the tree, you can do so in our next series. We don't know when it's going to start just yet, probably towards the end of the summer in the Northern Hemisphere. But that's it from us tonight and the Super Cyclone Challenge for this series. It's been a wonderful series 2. We hope to see you again in series 3. And you can find all of our outlets in the meantime to find out more information on all of that. And of course, tracking the real storms out there. Strat, what happened?
I don't know. I thought I had it. I guess I just didn't. But I used most of the lifelines and I didn't use the risk lifeline, so I'm happy.